Okay, I was really into this story. So it only took a couple hours to read. Plus the fact that I just read it for enjoyment. I didn't keep track of all the characters or all the extras or all the stuff going like that. It's and I'm sorry. I'm gonna hurry up and get into the fifth book, and then I'm gonna be sorry to see it go. It's gonna be interesting how she decides to end it. I've written to the author and I asked her, will there be any additional books after 5? I'm pretty sure the answer is no, but I haven't read book 5 yet to see how it ends. But I'm hoping there will be additional books. It is a good series worth pursuing. But so this is A Dangerous Time for Love, and this is book 4 in the Time series. And Cassie is from 2023, and Luke and the 1807. It's Luke, who is the Earl of Radcliffe, and his brother James. And we don't see too much of Garrett, who is like the butler, best friend, distant cousin. We don't see very much of him. He makes a couple of brief appearances, but we do see a lot of Mrs. Radcliffe, the Dowager, Luke's mom. And this time when she goes back, she ends up on Luke's mom's lap. But we're jumping ahead here. We gotta go back a little bit here. So, this is the 21st century, after all. The fact that I volunteer as a special constable in my free time isn't likely to raise eyebrows either, although the tabloid press might take an interest for a day or two. What is unusual is the fact that an earl in question was born in 1779. No, I'm not having fantasies about a handsome face and a portrait. I'm Cassie Lawrence. I am in the parish of Well Hampstead. I am a time traveler. Don't ask me how it works because I have no idea. All I do know is that a portrait of Lucian Franklin, 3rd Earl of Radcliffe, bought in a local antique shop, which once again, she had an overwhelming urge to almost drug addict type situation where she just had to have it. And there are many times you want that chocolate cake. So she's been back to 1807 3 times. And do you know what she did this time? And I know she didn't want to tempt things, but I wish that she tells these people, yep, that's me. Yep. And because they're all looking at her. What happens is she decides Luke's house is currently open to the public for tours. The revenue, it's a high tax thing. They need some revenue. So they open it up, some parts of the house, as tours. And Cassie decides for the first time ever to go on a tour. And everybody who sees her goes, oh my God. And they're running around telling everybody. And the 8th Earl, the current Earl, comes down and he looks at her and he's like, that's you. That is absolutely you. And he shows her the portrait that's hanging in the house of her. And then while she's there, they discover there was a false wall and there was a blood thing behind it. And Cassie has her miniature with her. And by the time she gets to her car, because she's like, oh, good God. And she leaves without telling them any information. She should have given them something. But she wanted to know what happened. And from what the contractor said to the new Earl was that whatever happened 200 years ago. So she's all curious now. And the miniature is getting really, really hot. She makes it back to her car before she time travels. And she ends up in Luke's mother's lap. And she's like, why am I here? What's going on? Usually Luke is in trouble or something's going on. And nothing has actually occurred at this juncture. She has to wait a few days for the murder to occur. And it's a murder and a theft of Luke's mother's jewels. I don't know whose bright idea and anybody with common sense would know. So she holds this house party. Luke's mother is holding a house party. And at the same time, she's having all of her jewelry inventoried. Who holds a house party and then has your jewelry inventoried in front of an entire house? Who does that? But she did it. She had all of her jewelry inventoried in front of the entire house of all these house guests. I'm like, So then one of the maids gets killed, and it's her blood in this room that had been walled up. So that's that mystery solved. And the killer tried to frame the maid because also at the same time the jewelry is stolen. And they hid some pieces in her person, but just a couple. And the jewelry, there's a complicated mystery here. There's a two-pronged situation going on here. And some of the jewelry is found in different locations in the house. And the final piece is just it's a twisty. There's also a major twist at the end that'll just you didn't see coming. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens in book 5, to see what happens. I'm curious to know if she'll continue on or not. She may just leave it at book 5, and we'll have to go find another series. There's a couple of them out there I want to experiment with. And come September, I will do a 10 and if then on a Friday and list all the 10 time travel books that I've done. And you go, look, I did these, and list them and go, hey, look, I've done the videos on them. So, and this is the list of what I've done. So we're going to try that. We'll see how it works out. I don't know how many more I can get in. This is the third or fourth one I've done so far. So it must have been just awesome. And it just annoys me she didn't spill the tea, because she's in 2023. She could tell them who she is. She's not going to disturb the future. I don't know if she'll disturb the past or not. Put her name under it, or sign it or something. But they did the portraits when she was in this visit that she's there. But like I said, she goes, and Luke's mother is very generous in helping her. She arrived without luggage, without anything, and they take her out the back door. They get her in a dress, one of the mother's dresses. They have her walk around front. Says she lost her carriage and her maid, and she's here with nothing. And the family helps her out with clothing, and they make this big story, and everybody buys it. But then she's here for the dinner party that the mother's holding for a couple days. Back in these days, they had dinner parties, and they stuck around for a while. So she has all these people in the house, all these different, and who has their jewelry inventory during a house party? But it's cute. The interaction between James and Cassie, and Luke and Cassie, and all the bedroom activity that goes on, and she handles it good. We don't need the extra details, whatever. The book is short. It's not that long. It's a little over 200 pages, I think. And about 20 chapters, so it's kind of short. So it was a quick read. And it's just fun, but I just kept wishing that she would have told the people, the 8th Earl, who she was, that she was that lady. She could have told a few stories. Whether they believed or not was another thing, but it would have been interesting to see what happened. And there's an interesting event at the end of the book too, which is just, it's cute as all hell, and I'm curious to find out what happens there too. So, who killed the maid Bessie? Why did they kill the maid Bessie? And what happened to the jewelry? Because the jewelry shows up in spots, and they have a search for it. And at one point, she's like, this feels like an Agatha Christie novel. Like, yeah, it does. It's just so cute. And I'm learning how to use the old Kindle. And if you've used one of these, you have to ah, use your stand. See this? It makes it so much easier. I like to know what pages I'm on, and it takes me a while to figure out how to touch it because I'm horrible at this thing. I want a real book, so definitely need one of those things if you're gonna do the Kindles. So let me know what you think. I'm gonna go right now and do the next book, and we'll see what happens. But Cassie, his brother, Cassie, Luke, her love interest, and James and the mother, they're gonna wonder where he is, and his kids are gonna wonder where he is. So I wonder how long, when she's gone. This has been like over a 2 month period of time, 2-3 month period of time. It's been a short period of time, and the time between her visits is about 1 to 2 weeks between each visit. So we'll see what happens. See what happens in book 5. I'm curious to see what's gonna happen. So have a good one. Enjoy. It was fun. It was a fun read. Have a good one.